They knew it couldn't happen from the start. The family would always say that this will never last. But the hard ones were the hard ones, of course they had to try. Secrets and forbidden love, for he was black and she was white. To accept they were young and they still kept their secret relationship behind closed doors. She gave him what was not just hers, hit the ball of her eyes. This time it was different, just another scar. With the hard ones, of course they had to try. Secrets and forbidden love, for he was black and she was white. Couldn't understand, she was from another time. She had the boy arrested and charged with another crime. The crime was love, he told the judge he'd never give her up. The sentencing was unjust, another story fucked by racism. 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 Social and racial taunt, this was our system's flaw. Why can't you let this be? It's love when hearts run free. And who are you to say? Keep him away, bitch, the same. Except you have nothing left to gain. Just everything to lose. She held him in her bloody arms. Her last few words were stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the fucking hate. It couldn't happen from the start.
Welcome to Nightrain Radio. I got the name fucking right, Lenny. What's going on, my friend?
Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but once again, I've had fucking no sleep, and I'm a bit dusty, but you wouldn't believe it, I'm coming good again.
For a dude who sleeps all the time, you never sleep.
I only sleep on Sundays.
It's crazy, man. But you sleep for about 28 hours a day that day.
Yeah. I make up for the entire week.
How you
So
been,
2
mate?
hours a night, and then 28 on Sunday.
Oh, that's lovely. How you been, my friend?
I've been well. Yourself?
Yeah, all right.
You haven't been to Maitland Park?
No, Maitland Park. No suicide attempts this week. Thank fuck. Bring that microphone closer to your face.
So you were doing well. That's what I want to hear.
Doing well, man. No suicide attempts this week. We'll see what happens next week. But at the moment, I am suicide free. We'll come back next week with an update, though.
I might be here by myself next week. We'll see how it goes.
I'll see you and Sid can take over this show.
So what do we listen to, Jay?
So that was fittingly enough the opener.
The opener. By who?
You tell me.
That was local resident Failure. And we are lucky enough to be joined by two members of that band today, Dal and Fef. How are we, boys?
Hello.
Yeah,
yes.
good. Well,
that's
better.
Hello,
We can hear. We can hear us.
We are a professional unit here at Nightrain Radio.
Yeah, Sid will get that board right one day.
So thanks for coming on the show, guys. How you been?
Yeah, all right. How about you, Dal?
Yeah, been good.
Yeah.
Found the place finally.
Yeah,
Yes.
I turned up at 321 Cabbage Tree Road as well.
Sid fucked up the audio and Sid gave him the wrong address. What a fucking
I was
prick.
like, that address does not exist.
Dal said it went to a hairdresser. And
Yeah, it was a
Oh, really?
hairdresser, but it was,
it
that
makes
was
sense.
like,
He rocked up
I
with
just-
short hair.
come back with
That
short
makes
hair.
I just found a goat on the side of the road.
sense.
There's
We-
one next to the studio, man. There's goats everywhere.
There's
in the
goats
fucking
everywhere around
If we hear a banging
Williamtown.
noise, it's that goat headbutting the shed all day.
there was the goat next to a goat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Feffy,
yeah,
the
the
real
goat.
deal.
For those of you at home, I just pointed at Feffy.
So, how's it been, fellas? It's a bit of a crazy time at the moment with the COVID stuff and no gigs and lockdown and fucking whatever else is going on. So, how you guys dealing with it?
Probably personally better than most, I think. I don't know. It sucks not playing gigs. It really does.
Yeah.
But could be fucking worse.
Well, Dal started a clothing company. What have you done with your time?
You know, he's very proactive and he actually does what he says. I just sort of talk about it and just sit on my ass.
So to clear that up, you arrived at 2:20 for a 1 o'clock start today.
Well, that's
So
that's kind of the
fantastic.
theme we're running right there. It's
That
not-
lead singer thing.
Well,
Yeah.
Dal and I were talking about this before you rocked up when we did. Obviously when you're in Delta Lines and I was at a lot of the shows, the stage would be set up, the amps were there, the drums were there.
Yeah.
The gig is about 5 minutes away, and you come running through the door with a guitar under your arm.
Yeah, you know.
God bless Ryan
But
Wilson
but I
taking your amp.
always got there. Just in, you know, we weren't late.
Keep them wanting more is what they
That's
always
it.
say.
Yeah.
But as
Fashionably
drummers, you
late.
and I used to find that shit out to be a bit harder than it normally would. We'd show up early and lug all our fucking gear, and then
And
the
I
singer
never-
would just rock up.
When
and
I played gigs, I never drove, so I'd rely on a driver. I was lazy, so I'd rely on someone to carry my gear.
So did I. Shout out to Brett, by the way. He used to carry my gear every week. And Sid. Sid, the cameraman, was always at my gigs carrying my shit around back in the fucking
You were
day.
the help then, and you're the help now.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
So how is it for the life of a musician during this shit when you can't do your job?
Yeah, it's all right. It sucks, but you do other things. I've been recording a couple bands lately, and so I do that. I'm lucky enough to still do that, and I don't know. You just play at home by yourself.
Is that how you hurt your hand?
Yeah, it's this is how this happens.
So the whole idea of this show is to basically discuss music and why we love it, why we do it, why it gets us through these shit times. So I don't care who goes first, but kind of tell us what got you into music and what were your parents playing? What was your first love?
Of music,
Yeah.
I think it was probably when I was like around 12, 13, when I really was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It was like watching Rage on a Saturday morning when I was a kid, watching that, like,
just
top 40 shit, like Madonna.
Well, I always found
whatever,
Rage was
you know.
how I discovered Metallica, because after they did the top 50,
Yeah.
they'd play random shit.
Yeah.
And one day, like, The Unforgiven 2 came on, and I said, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it was similar for me. It was, I think it was like a lot of pop shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, someone showed me metal,
Yeah, right.
and that changed everything. And Nirvana, metal and Nirvana. So it was like first, I think it was, you know, Metallica, Poison, Motley Crue, and like Slayer, and then it was Nirvana, and I was like, oh fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then punk rock came after that.
Yeah, right.
And
So
that was like
you were late to the party, but you made the most of it when you got there.
yeah. Well, I'm still a metalhead at heart.
Well,
but
the 80s were fucking killer for metal, and you were lucky. You would have been in your 30s then.
yeah, I was kind of I was waiting for it. I was waiting when he's going to start taking the piss out of me.
Honestly, I'm lucky I lasted this long.
I'm actually surprised. I was like, it's coming. Lenny's going to start on me soon. Boom, it happened.
I'm just lucky you heard it, just quietly.
Yeah.
At your
Oh,
age.
yeah. No, it was great. It was. I remember it was weird. Like the first, I went into a record shop when they actually sold records.
What are they?
Yeah, I know. They're like these big square things.
You can use them for dinner plates.
You can do some dinner plates, frisbees.
You can rack off them nowadays, I think.
Do that as well. And they were selling. They were just starting to sell CDs and cassette tapes. I didn't have a CD player back then. I had a cassette tape. And I remember going in and like I was like 12 or whatever, and I couldn't afford like a record. I had no money. Like, so I went in and the guy, I said, "Oh, I really want that record." Like it was Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. And he goes, "Oh man, I'll just tape it for you." So he just sold himself out of talked himself out of a sale. Not that I had any money, but he did tape. He did do it while I was there. He just recorded it off another tape, and he just gave me.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was like full like bootleg shit.
What about
So-
you, Dal? You're the I guess the punk rocker here.
I remember when I was very young, Michael Jackson
Yeah.
was my guy.
Yeah,
He would have been fond of you too, I reckon.
Allegations.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
Don't sue me, Michael Jackson.
I don't know. I think then in school, one of my mates' brothers was in a band, and they got Triple J Unearthed. So they were on the very first Unearthed CD, and he said something. I think I might have heard Silverchair.
Yeah.
And then he said, "My brother's band hates Silverchair." So then I got into Silverchair, despite
To be a prick.
yeah. And then I realised I like Silverchair. And then it led to me going to my first festival in 97, and it was at Surfskate Slam at Maroubra Beach, and it was Grinspoon, Sprung Monkey, and Frenzal played. And then from that
I've heard
day,
of that band.
yeah, from that day when I was 15, I was a punk rocker.
Excellent. Have you Dr. Feelgood, that tape, do you still have it?
I think I do somewhere. I've got a whole bunch of cassettes that I've just kept over the years, like heaps of shit.
You pirated that one. What was the first, when you had your hard-earned money, when you worked at Macca's as a fucking 14-year-old and you had your first paycheck, what was the first CD that you bought with cash?
Actually, well, I actually stole my first record. It was The Cure, Wish.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Still got it?
No, I don't know where that went. But the first one I bought,
Crime doesn't pay then.
I think it was Faith No More, The Real Thing.
Oh, now we're fucking talking.
Yeah, that was all. Like, I remember hearing that, and I thought that was the heaviest shit ever. Like,
Yeah.
you know that song "Surprise You're Dead"?
Yeah.
Surprise, you're dead.
Yeah, it's the best.
Like, I thought that was like fucking death metal. I was like, I thought that can't get any heavier than
I've
this
said
shit.
this every episode now, but if we can just do 90 minutes of Faith No More, I'm going to be a fucking happy man. What about you, Dal? First album you bought with your hard-earned money?
It was Michael Jackson, Dangerous,
Oh,
on cassette tape.
I had it on
yeah,
tape.
yeah.
Double tape.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
and then I just
That was a wicked album, though.
yeah, it was great.
Regardless of what he may or may not have done.
That was around
a
that
good
time
album.
too that
It was, yeah.
people started coming forth, but
Because then his story came out
Yep.
just after that.
That was
I
the
think.
greatest hits, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
that greatest hits / some new stuff?
yeah, that was a double
'cause
album.
that
And the
my
fact that it was
real
called
intro.
his story.
Capital
was,
HIS.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty clever.
It was
Yeah.
nice. That was one. I think
Because
that
no one was giving him a chance, man.
He may as well just called it, I didn't rape anyone.
in brackets, promise.
Promise.
Parentheses, probably.
So, at what stage did you guys start going, fuck, I wouldn't mind doing this? And what was the first instrument you grabbed?
Mine was going back to that festival after
Yeah.
I saw those bands. I was like, fuck, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
And then I think drums was my first instrument.
Yeah?
And then my sister had a guitar. I was like, oh, I want to play that and not play drums. So started playing guitar and just working out songs and then you start writing your own songs. Well, you start ripping off other people's songs
Yeah.
and claiming it as your own. Ooh.
There's that rain. I love that
There
rain.
it is.
Every fucking episode.
The microphones did nothing, Sid.
The goggles do nothing.
I think at least 3 of us started on drums. Like, fuck me. I looked at guitar and realised that I could not do a single fucking thing with these stubby fingers. Was guitar? Did you find drums a lot easier to just do naturally than guitar?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be a rhythm thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting things seems to be easier than placing your fingers and then having to gently strum something.
Yeah, in an
I was
awkward
a drummer as
position.
well. So yeah, exactly. So it was just easier to fucking just to sit there and hit something over and over again and get the aggression out, and as opposed to having to focus and trying to learn. I can't do a fucking thing on guitar. My son is better than me. He's 8.
And Fef, you always guitar?
No, I actually started on piano.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
but
that.
yeah, I think I was 11.
Yep.
And I remember my parents, you know, your parents take you to these shitty parties, grown-up parties, and then you're always bored as a kid sitting around, like, and then there was a piano in the corner, and I thought, I'll fuck around on this, and started playing it, and my parents were like, oh, you know,
Pretty
doesn't
good at
sound half bad, we'll get you one.
Just
So what happened was, so
you were
I-
fucking piano out of nowhere.
yeah, I just started playing piano, but I started getting lessons, and I realised, I don't know, that's about the time I started listening to rock
Yeah.
music, and there's not really much piano in it. So, but around the same
although
time,
your first album was Faith No More, which is full of keyboards and piano.
well, it was, but I don't know. Keyboards are kind of like,
Roddy
I mean,
Bottom-
they're cool.
Roddy Bottom never looked as cool as Jim Martin.
No, not even close.
He's no
But-
Chris Pittman though.
No, who is?
But then my brother, he started learning guitar around the same time, and I was watching him, and I was like, fuck, that's cool. I was like, I said to Mum, I want to do that instead. She goes, no, we bought you a fucking piano. You play that. So so what I did was, when he wasn't playing it, I started picking it up and teaching myself, and
Yeah.
then he'd teach me a little bit, and then eventually I ditched the piano and just started
That's it. I'm a guitarist.
But
now.
yeah, I just kind of went that way. So that's how I started. So
The apprentice becomes the master.
And
Do you guys pick up the old instruments at all anymore, or is it just what you do now?
no, I just play. I pretty much play guitar and bass, and that's it.
Well, you obviously you play bass professionally.
Yeah.
How quickly was the move from guitar to bass for you, or was that more of a necessity?
Well, it was during the LRF era,
Yeah.
and I was playing guitar, and I played guitar in most bands. And then some stuff went down, and my mate, who I went to tape with, he was there, and he was a guitarist. So I said, "Oh, if you want to be in the band, you play guitar, and I'll play bass."
Yeah.
So I've really only been playing bass since it was about 10 years.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and then I found a liking for it, so
I
which
think-
led me to where I am now.
I know people who have moved to bass just for the sake of a gig because every cunt plays guitar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Drums are pretty common, but bass seems to be the less. There's less romance in a bass, it seems. Everyone
But
goes,
drums, you got to have a certain sort of mental illness to want to play drums, and that's
which we all have.
seems to be the trend.
Yeah.
So, how early into bands did we start recording?
Well, back in the day, it would have been fucking tape recorders and
Yeah,
whatever.
it was still analog.
the old Talk
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when my first band, I think we were about 15 or 16
Yep.
when we actually paid to go to a studio.
What was that like when you first paid to walk into a studio and record there and have it be all professional? As a kid, I didn't get to experience. I'd always wanted to, but it never happened. How was it for you to walk in and feel that sort of that semi-professionalism? I
Yeah,
guess
it's great. Especially when you're a kid, it's like, and then you realise later that fucking it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was like the first. I think the first studio I recorded at was the place. I can't remember what it was called. It's gone now, but it was in Cardiff, and there's this little shed next to this
in the industrial area.
hill. Yeah, kind of.
yeah.
I can't remember what it was called now. I'll come to me in a sec.
Cardiff Recording Studio.
No, it had some.
Cardiff
Had
Industrial
some
Area
kind of like
Recording
cool lame name. Anyway, it was the same deal. I thought at the time it was just like in the 90s, and it was like it was super cool, but it was really shit. Like I listened to that. It was okay. We did a demo, like a 7-song demo, and I listen to it now, and it's absolute rubbish.
Fuck,
But
seven songs.
It's
is a
so
big-
rare.
but
though,
we
back
were
then.
a hardcore band, so we just
So like
hardcore
49
punk. So
seconds each.
it was like 30-second songs.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it didn't, it all happened in the space.
And
Like we
it's
did a
4
whole
minutes
thing.
of fucking kick in the air and
Yeah, like the guy didn't give a shit. He was just he was probably fucking wasted, and he's just on smack or something, and he's like, he was just pressing.
shout out to heroin, by the way.
Yeah, totally. And it was all analog then. It was tape, definitely tape, but it was it sounded horrible. But at the time, I thought, fuck, this is the best. We get to hear ourselves back. So
It's a good stroke for the ego the first time you hear your own shit played back to you.
well, yeah, especially then because you got nothing else to compare it to.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you did another recording before that, and it's
yeah.
you had nothing to compare it to. So you think, fuck, this is awesome. We're killing it.
I mean, me and my mate Judder,
So-
used to just record on a tape deck with a microphone in my back room.
Shout out
Yeah.
to meth.
Yeah, fucking oath. One of the greatest drivers of all time, never sleeps.
But the aim of doing a recording is to give it to people so they can listen to it at home.
Yeah.
Rather than going to every show and them trying to memorize the words. Or
Yeah. Well, we still laugh about it because we recorded, it was just guitar and drums, no vocals, no bass, no nothing else. And we recorded just these shit fucking improv kind of just rhythms essentially. And we showed his mum and she goes, oh, it's nice. And how parents just like try and give you a compliment by saying a famous band. They go, oh, it sounds a bit like Led Zeppelin. It's like, well, it fucking doesn't in the slightest. But thanks, John's
Mum.
mum, for being
Yeah.
We're going to listen to Dal, one of your earlier recordings. Tell us
Yeah.
what you sent through. Home Ed?
yeah, this is called Home Ed. This was from my very first band in high school called 48 Double D, like the bra size. Once again,
Shout out to Tits.
it's Once again, this sounds like fucking balls.
Yeah.
I didn't sing on this one, but
I didn't even know about this. Home Ed.
Home Ed. Well, that's
Home
yeah.
Ed's the song. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
What's the
song.
band?
48
double D.
like the
Oh,
like the
yeah,
boobs.
yeah, okay.
So
Like
what do
the
you-
boobs.
Like the boobs. Oh, yeah, I know what you're
yeah,
talking
you know,
about.
boobs.
Yeah, I remember
So,
boobs.
so you play every fucking instrument. What do you do on this?
Guitar. Yeah. So this was us as young punks in Dubbo, New South Wales.
So not anyone from Newey that we may know?
Nah.
Sweet. Let's have a listen. Home Ed by 48 Double D.
Rock and roll.
Today.
Oh, we're back, Lenny.
That was Home Ed by the Titties.
Titty band, yeah.
You said that sounded like shit. That was good.
Oh, yeah.
I actually enjoyed that. It was like, okay.
I expected terrible recording because professionally I did not listen beforehand. Because you sent them to Jay and I didn't get a chance to listen, but that sounded good, dude.
Oh, it was all right. It's one of those things when you're young and you listen back and you go, yeah, that sounds awesome. But when you move on to, more expensive recording gear and better instruments and, looking back on it.
Tell us about that recording. Was that part of a demo or an EP or album?
That was an album called Are We Punk Yet?
Oh, I saw that on your little video there.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the answer to that?
Are you of the belief that if you call yourself punk, you're not actually punk?
Yes. Yes.
Because we're going to talk about someone later on that deems themselves to be quite punk, and you've written a song about it.
Ah, yeah.
We won't name names, but fuck him, he's shit.
We all know.
Oh, God,
Duff
here we go.
McKagan.
Duff McKagan.
Duff
yes.
McKagan.
It's funny, yeah. I think anyone's going to label you,
Yeah.
even if you're a fast, aggressive band, and you say we're a punk band, they'll go, no, you're melodic, ska hardcore. So it's
Melodic,
like, well,
you're melodic SoCal skate punk.
yeah.
It's just fucking
To
rock
be
and roll.
specific.
You and I
It's
had
rock and
this
roll.
discussion a lot back in the day about the subgenres of music. I mean, how fucking ridiculous it is.
Yeah, I mean,
How's you,
I'm far from a metalhead, but I do spend a lot of time in that kind of area, and it's just so frustrating. Oh, that band's not metal. Fuck off.
Yeah.
who's to say?
Parkway Drive aren't metal. Well, they fucking are, for starters. Anytime someone goes, that band's not metal, they're probably pretty metal.
Remember in high school, though, as I progressed through high school, the category would change. Like Poison, when I was in primary school, for instance, you mentioned Poison earlier.
Yeah,
Poison
yeah.
and Motley Crue, and that were always metal bands.
The metal
Gunners
bands.
and whatever else. I got to high school, and Poison and Motley Crue and that were a rock band, and then you had your Panteras and Metallica and a Slayer, and that were considered now were metal, and the other guys were
That's
not.
right.
So it changes over fucking.
It changes, but who cares if you like it? If you're rocking out to it, fuck it. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't know. I listen to heaps of shit.
It's all rock and roll. Some of it's
people,
faster than the others,
some
and
people
some of
think
it's
some of
heavier.
the shit I listen to is fucking lame, but I'm just like, fuck it.
Well, that's the thing. I hate the question of what is your guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
It
it's
shouldn't-
not.
It shouldn't be a fucking guilty pleasure. Like, oh, what do you like Kesha? Yeah, I do. What's your
I love
pleasure?
Kesha.
No, it's not. It's just I like pop music.
Yeah,
Nothing
there's
guilty.
nothing
If
wrong
you like
with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you like something, it's not guilty pleasure.
No.
at all.
No, fuck no.
Just because you listen to majority metal or punk doesn't mean you
I
can't
don't
listen to
know.
Kesha
Well,
or
fucking
Dua Lipa. I like Dua
Michael
Lipa.
Jackson had some guilty pleasures that could have been considered.
Never proven.
I'm
in
just,
court.
just a bit of a throwback.
Now, I've seen you sing "Man in the Mirror" quite a few times at the
Oh, yeah.
station.
Oh yeah.
Any other influences
Smashed
you've
it.
taken from Michael Jackson?
What do you mean?
Anything else? Anything else?
Other than your hair.
Come on.
Other than singing, is there anything else he's inspired you to do?
My falsetto. No.
Cool. So we listened to "Home Ed" by the Titties.
Yes.
How long were you in that band for, and what came after that?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
We all went to different. Oh, me and the drummer went to the same school. Then he went to another school, and then I think a guy I played cricket with started playing bass. And then once high school finished, we all sort of moved away from each other. And then I moved to Sydney for a year, and then I moved up here, and then there was a few bands during that time, which
Did you alternate between instruments a fair bit? Because we spoke about Venice Vegas before, which you played drums in.
yeah.
Was it you just going, okay, this band needs a drummer, so I'll play drums again now, or this band needs a guitar, I'll do that now?
Yeah. Well, me and Ian, who I lived with,
One of the great barbers.
yeah, of all time.
He's done some great work on Feffy.
Yes.
One of the greatest straight razor jobs I've ever seen in my life.
So yeah, we lived together, and he went to TAFE, and knew a couple of dudes from TAFE, and they started a band and said, need a drummer, and I said, oh yeah, I'll have a go, I'll hit the things,
Yeah.
get some aggression out. And then, after a while, I wanted to be a frontman,
Yeah.
No one's looking at me, I want to be a frontman.
Well, I always found that, because I'm quite egotistical as well when I need to be, but drummers was so fucking good because no one's really paying attention. Unless you're fucking...
Unless you're Kai Smith.
Unless you're Kai Smith, no one's looking at you.
yeah.
Feffy, you've got a rap sheet.
That's why I chose drums back in the day, because I didn't want to be at the front, I didn't want to be seen by everyone. I wanted
It's
to
a
be hidden
perfect
behind.
instrument.
You ought to hide behind something, and
Yeah.
so you can do your thing, but still have that sense of
I actually
privacy.
secretly wish I became a drummer instead.
That'd be
Like
great.
sometimes.
Yeah,
that
'cause
Phil Collins thing.
Because
Yeah.
you need more bands to be in.
I do. I don't have
And more
enough.
How many have you got going at the moment? Live
Really,
bands, like you got Hack the Mainframe. That's
Like the
obviously
Mainframe, I play in an acoustic duo with Katie Wilson.
is it a covers
got it-
thing.
yeah, it's a
or-
covers
I called a
thing,
gig
yeah.
in March. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
did?
we it's awesome actually. It's like my other kind of different world of music there.
Yeah, nice.
We just play like covers, but everyone bags out covers, and they're like, oh, you play covers. And it's like, you know what? When you find someone that can make it fun, and like you just don't take it too seriously, it's actually a good time.
Katie's fucking great too. Like her
And
voice is
she's
incredible.
awesome. She's
Everyone
great.
only bags out covers in their fucking mid-20s, and then once
Yeah.
they hit 30, it's like, oh, you know what?
You know what?
I get
I
it.
gotta
I
make
get
some
it.
fucking
Yeah,
money,
That's it.
all right?
You're
Gotta
playing
make
music,
bank,
you're making
bro.
money. Fuck it, it's all good.
I said this to Doggo from Michelin. Like I'd much rather play someone else's songs on drums for a living than fucking lay bricks.
Yeah.
Like if it's play music that you didn't write, and
I think
might
you
not-
offended Corby though, because Corby's a bricklayer.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
Yeah,
Don't
fuck
lay,
him.
Don't lay bricks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corby.
And when you're in an original band, what else do? You play covers.
Yeah.
Like, if you're an up and starting band, it's like, oh, let's play a No Effect song so people will watch. They don't care about your originals. They just
Yeah.
care about what covers you play. So you might as well go and do it.
I
Make money
guess
from
that's a really interesting point, especially with you, Dal. Coming from you're now in a band, Frenzal Rhomb. You're playing a bunch of songs that were written a long fucking time when we were all kids, sort of thing. I guess essentially it's kind of not fair. I guess essentially you are to a degree playing covers, but it's not. It doesn't feel that same way as playing a cover song, if you know what I mean. So, how is it for you playing an old Frenzal song that was written fucking 25 years ago?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He's destroying the studio, so he's not happy about that question.
Fucking anarchy is still alive, people.
I'm a punk.
Frenzal.
At first, it felt weird. It felt like, because nothing been announced yet.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm just...
It still hasn't, has it?
Yeah, it has now, yeah. It was
I
just
mean,
like a secret.
I'm pretty sure
sort of-
Facebook still says Tom.
Yeah, but no one looks at Facebook.
I saw Tom's first show in Newcastle when he was about, I don't know,
Tom's
8 years old or something. He was only a young bloke
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he joined the band, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, at first it felt weird, but now it feels more normal. Actually,
Do you add your own sort of touch to the songs, or is it you sort of play it to how they're written, or what's the
sort
what's
of
your approach?
a bit of both. Yeah, because I was always stressing about I have to play it perfectly because there's people out there that will come up afterwards and go, "You didn't play that bit in that song," or something. But no one's done that yet. No one cares.
I don't think they
as long
ever
as
will.
it sounds close.
As long as you don't fuck up the intro to Punch in the Face, I reckon you'll be right. But if you should butcher that one day intentionally.
Yeah.
So Lenny and I, we're both massive Guns N' Roses fans, and we've seen the band in every incarnation since 2007. So the lineup's changed a lot. That band, and we were lucky enough to hang out backstage with GNR and talk to the band and
Name dropper.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And abbreviated.
Listen,
as well.
I don't want to say
Was that when I met Chris Jericho?
when Axel and I were hanging out at the coffee shop. Oh, this cunt here with Chris Jericho. Fuck me, dead. Yeah.
Am I going to tell that
Listen,
story?
I
Have
had
told that story on this show?
you probably have, but listen, basically what happened was I had 3 backstage passes to a Guns N' Roses
That's
show.
two, you can't. And I was
I
the
had.
third
Oh, sorry,
person.
yeah, I had 2. I had 2 backstage passes to a Guns N' Roses show in
cunt takes his
2010,
wife.
right? And I had a new girlfriend at the time who ended up being the fucking mother of my 2 kids and my
Allegedly.
current wife. So there's a reason I chose her over this cunt here. Anyway,
True.
so
I was not letting you fuck me in any way, so you probably did right.
Not then you didn't.
No.
But anyway, so we're backstage. Well, we're trying to get backstage at the show. I'm showing these cunts my pass, like Wayne and Garth, and I'm like, Lenny, I'll meet you outside after the show. Dude, I'm walking
and
up.
I was furious, by the way.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't
thought
too
this
happy.
cunt's just left me in Sydney by myself at 1 a.m. in the morning.
I'm walking upstairs to the backstage area, and I turn around, and there's this cunt walking up with Chris Jericho. Just the wrestler, just big
course.
fozzy.
My mate Chris.
Y2J.
Your mate
My mate
Chris.
Chris Irvine, yeah.
Mate Chris, fuck me, dead. Yeah, it was.
Because Fozzie played in Sydney the night before.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So we walk, like the crowd, the show finishes, everyone walks towards the, either you're fucking off or you're going to the backstage area. And I'm walking, I'm like, well, I'm just going to try and get backstage. I've got no pass, but I'll put my flannel over my shoulders. That'll cover where the pass should be. And I'll just strut past like I own the joint. Which normally works for me just quietly. And there's fucking Chris Jericho. And everyone's going, oh, wrestling, man, I love you wrestling. And I just went, man, fucking Fozzie were good last night. And he goes, yeah, you liked it? And I wasn't there. But I went, dude, best time I've seen you, and I've seen you like 3 times. And he's like, fuck, man, that's fucking cool, dude, man, I'm glad you liked it, blah, blah, blah. And then we're all lining up to go backstage. He's just sitting in the stands by himself. And I went, oh, fuck. I meant it, man. Great show. He goes, oh, you want to come have a beer? I went, yes, I would love to.
That'd be awesome.
These guys are lining up with their passes. I'm just strutting past with Y2J.
He seems like the fucking nicest guy too.
But 3 years before that, I fucking stitched you up after a GNR show backstage, and you ended up getting
Nearly
assaulted.
got rolled in a taxi in Sydney. That was good.
Yeah, man, that was a fucking... Anyway, my point is, to that whole fucking nonsense, my point is, we've met a lot of replacement members of Guns N' Roses, Robin Fink and Ron Thal and DJ Ashba, things like that, who have they've all expressed that they've copped a lot of shit for replacing a member of a band that's been there for a long time. And Tom was in Frenzal for quite a while, 15, 16 years, whatever it was.
Something like that,
long time, yeah. Now you're there. Have you copped any sort of backlash for being the new guy on the scene, or have they been more accepting than...
Yeah, it's been pretty accepting. I think just because there was no... it wasn't like a bad breakup sort of thing, and then they got this new guy in to do it. It was just sort of,
It's a necessity.
yeah, this guy stepped away, so then another guy came in, and haven't experienced that.
It's awesome.
I'm kind of prepared for it mentally, but haven't done it yet, which is good. Everyone's been pretty positive, and
We caught you at the Cambridge...
December.
the Christmas show,
The Christmas show, yeah, man. And the reception, I mean, I guess it's a Newcastle show, and you've got a big rep in Newcastle, so the reception was terrific then, and it seemed like everyone was very accepting of the new guy in the band. And
yeah.
even by then, you weren't exactly the new guy, but still.
Yeah.
What's it been, what, 2 years?
A year full time. Yeah, 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just been the best. It's the best ever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
So
Fef,
good.
you've joined a million bands over the years.
Yeah, a few.
We spoke about Katie before.
Yeah.
She's not the first Wilson that you've played with, so
No,
that wasn't even
no.
a joke. Segue.
Yeah, no. Sounds like it.
So certainly the time that you and I became better friends.
Yeah.
Because I knew you from the Cambo.
Yeah. I
As
met
as
you
everyone
in, what was it, 2005 or something?
Who fucking
Or
knows?
it was a long time
It
ago.
was a long ass time ago.
was-
But then you joined a little band with my mate Ryan called the Delta Lions.
I did. Yes.
Tell us how that all came about, because we're going to listen to a song soon.
That all came about, I guess, like, I think it was around 2008
2010?
or 9.
Nine, I think
When
it
it
was
was first, I guess, yeah. I guess like one night, this is a vague recollection, by the way.
Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe, I was hanging out with Ben Leese.
Yeah.
And
Country rock superstar.
country rock superstar, and
Missy.
he was at the time we just thought, let's have a jam, and we just started like doing a duo thing for a
Yep.
bit, because I wasn't really doing anything else. I was doing a couple of odds and ends here and there, and then I just thought, I've been playing punk rock and hardcore and stuff for the last at
40
that stage 40 years or so, and I don't know, like you kind of there's some time I don't know, for myself I kind of needed something. I wanted to try something different, and
Well, you've got a metal background. Benno certainly has a metal
he does.
background.
We had common ground there. We definitely got metal and punk rock like sort of backgrounds, and then he just was like, let's try and play some Johnny Cash songs,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and we started that, and then it was, he goes, I got some originals, and he showed me, and I was like, these are great, and then it somehow got Matt Taylor, and then I knew Ryan
Yeah.
from before, and I asked Ryan, I said, do you want to do this? And he was like, yeah, okay.
I remember
And then-
Ryan told me, and I could be wrong here, but the deal was that if he joined, you had to give him some old demos that you'd recorded. Is that right? Because he might have been Draw the Line demos, but apparently you asked him to join.
Probably. I can't remember. It's
remember-
going back
I-
like 11 years.
Oh, I've got a weird fucking dub memory for specifics.
It might have been.
He's like, I'll play you these demos that we listen to. I'm only
Yeah.
joining this band because Fef gave me demos of another band.
Okay, maybe. I can't remember, to be honest. It was that long ago, and lots happened since then. But
Draw the line. You were always in Draw the
We're
line.
talking about
no, I
Delta Lions
wasn't.
now.
No, that
Hey?
was.
We're talking about Delta
Yeah, I
Lions.
know, but you mentioned Draw the line, and it just hit me. Fuck up.
I actually wasn't. I was late to join that band.
When
That
did you
band-
join that band?
In 2001.
Yeah,
think.
so you and I actually have played a couple of shows together, and
Oh,
I had no
really?
idea until
Okay.
4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, fucking the
What band was this? that
I
you
was
were-
in a band called, I was in two bands. I was in one called Gerbil Sex.
Oh wow.
And the first time I played with you guys,
Gerbil Sex.
hey,
okay.
hey, get fucked. The reason I played with you guys first is because we won our school band comp at St. Francis Xavier in Hamilton, and
I went there too.
you did.
Yeah.
Well, you
Fucking
guys.
you two probably have made out over the years.
yeah, probably.
Parties.
Look
No,
at this.
he's 40 years older than me apparently. So.
This
Yeah,
is
but
going to
he's
be
a
the
big-
theme of this thing, isn't it?
But he's a big
The
Michael,
old guy,
but he's a
I'm
big
the old
Michael
guy.
Jackson fan,
No,
so he's
so
probably
any-
still at the parties.
So anyway, we won that band comp at school, and then because of that, we ended up scoring a gig with Grinspoon at the
Oh
uni.
wow. Okay.
Nice.
But part of it, as part of the prize as well, was playing another band comp. I didn't have it as a prize, but it's a prize to play another band comp at the Palais, and that was with you guys headlined. You weren't actually part of the
Okay.
band comp.
Yeah.
You just headlined. You were like the main event, and
Oh,
a
really?
bunch of us fucking
So the
nobodies.
prize was getting to support Draw the Line.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what a
yeah.
prize.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do I answer?
I remember that. I went out drinking that night, and some guy said, "Oh, you mean the band Draw the Line?" I said, "Yeah." You know what that means, don't you? So what? They're all on fucking coke.
Really?
Yeah, I was at the brewery. What's it called now?
They're all on coke.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
all. Yeah, it means they're fucking all on coke, man. They're drawing the line, you know. Oh.
That's awesome. Wow.
That's news to you.
That's
Who's in
news
Draw
to
the Line.
me. Like, no, that
You've
was
got,
not
you've got a Coke frame.
a coke. What?
Coke frame.
What's that mean? What does that even mean?
You've got that little figure, that little body.
Oh, you mean
That's
like
a Coke ring.
oh yeah, I do heaps of coke, man. I'm always
In between
hang on,
meth
hang
and
on, hang
coke,
on.
one
Let's,
of them.
I'll get my phone out. Where
Well,
are
you know
you?
what?
Where are you, Leroy?
Where is Leroy? We won't say his real name for legal purposes. Well,
No.
let's let you pick. Do you want to listen to Draw the Line, or do you want to listen to Draw the Line? We're going to play both. But you pick
whatever
first.
I guess we'll go in a chronological order.
Let's go
So,
Draw the Line.
yeah.
Let's have a listen to Pride Over Silver. You're right.
I'm tripping on me fucking cord.
Pride Over Silver by Draw the Line, number 3, Jay. Go.
All right, here we go. All right, rock and roll.
I can't blame you for all the bad decisions that you made, but I can't hate you, I can hate you for all the wrong answers that you gave to me, to all the questions I wish I never asked. In your eyes, I got second place again, so close to you. Closing up. I won't play fool. I choose pride over silver always. Leaves a bitter taste, just like the love we shared. With you, in your eyes, I got second place again, so close to you. Closing up. I don't know what I did to hurt you. I don't know what I did to make you cry. I don't know what I did to make you hate me. What made you say bye? In your eyes, second place again, so close to you. Closing up.
Jay and I have been driving around all morning on very zero sleep, just listening to you, both of your band's music over the years, and just showing in our own backing vocals. And honestly, we nearly crashed about 7 times just listening to LRF, and then yeah. So fucking Draw the Line, a bunch of coke doing party
Yeah,
animals.
lots of
apparently.
coke,
not
lots of
even.
cocaine.
Not even.
Draw the Line.
According to the drunk at the brewery that night. Anyway.
Yeah, that's
Similar,
interesting.
similar to the Gunner situation. Draw the Line felt like a bit of a rotating lineup over the years. Were you in it constantly, or
I
after you
think
joined?
only the last I think like 4 or 5 years, and that was it. And then the band ended. So I think 5 years, maybe.
Am I
don't
right
know.
in saying that Mo from Hell City Glamours was in Draw the Line?
Yeah, we
With
went.
you?
Really?
Yes. Mo's
He's a good dude.
he's a great dude. I miss Mo.
Fucking can play a guitar.
He can play guitar. He definitely can.
What are they doing now?
So-
Anything?
Glamours.
Yeah.
They've
Well,
done, they've done nothing.
I
before
think,
you.
No, I know the band is done, but I mean,
Mo's in Mucho Sonar.
That's
Which
correct,
is a great band.
Yeah.
Isn't some of the brass dudes in Mucho Sonar? Were they Draw the Line dudes?
No, I don't think any other guy. Oh no, but Benny Kay, the other guitarist, he was in
Yeah.
Draw the Line as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were in Draw the Line together, and yeah,
Because that was a pretty big band around Newcastle. It felt like every kind of, and
Around-
I wasn't overly a part of, I guess you'd call it the scene back
Yeah.
then. But it felt like every kind of punk or hardcore show either had Draw the Line or the Dead Walk.
probably I don't know. We played a lot of shows, probably too many. in the same spot, so we just didn't. But that's all right. I had a lot of fun.
Do you find that a band can get venue burnout? Like from
yeah.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
So I played the Cambridge that many times. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you're in so many bands. Surely it's different every time.
Yeah, probably too much. Probably it was burnout.
Yeah, right.
You know, at the end. But I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It was a good time.
Yeah. It's fun when you're doing it. Tell us. So from Draw the Line to Draw the Lines, what's in between?
I played I played in a couple of hardcore bands, or a few. I played in a band called Drop Saw for a little bit. Played in the Deadwalk for a bit, and I played in another band. Yeah, I played in a band called Every Word.
We're going through an alphabetical order.
Yeah, they're all pretty much.
Drop Saw, Every Word.
Every Word. That was another hardcore band for a little bit.
Failure is next.
And I think after that it was. I think. Oh man, this is hard. I think that was about it. And then around that time, there was a brief period where all those bands weren't active or they ended or I left. That I actually, for the first time in 10 years, I
didn't have a band.
I didn't have a band for maybe almost 6 months.
Is that the longest you've gone since you've been in bands?
Yeah, that's it. Since I started, that was the longest period without a band.
Yeah,
well, there was no other break. It was always an overlap or something.
Yeah.
So there was a 6 month period where I was still playing music. I was just, but that's when Del Line started next.
We touched on it briefly before because you and Benno, a couple of metal kids.
Yeah.
How did two metal kids start what is essentially a country element rock and roll?
I think
band?
it was just metal kid. I don't think I was so much of a metal kid as a punk or still am. So I just kind of I still am. Just that's my thing. Punk rock has always been the number one. But but at the same time, we were saying,
you can't say that sitting next to Dallinger, mate.
Or maybe not.
Newcastle's king of punk rock and roll.
That's right. But in saying that, I listen to everything. I love metal. I really do. I love rock and roll. I love pop. I love a lot of stuff. So I guess and there was I guess you get burnt out on. You know what it's like. I don't know. Me personally,
you can
only listen to so many NoFX songs before saying I need to listen to another genre of music.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to start an argument here, but I ended up back at Emma and Jai's place a few weeks ago, and they were playing NoFX.
Yeah.
And I said a sentence that nearly got me punched in the face.
What's that?
I said, "Why would you listen to NoFX when Rancid exists?"
Oh, dude, that's I love both those bands. So,
do you think we'll ever get Rancid in Australia?
No, never.
What's the issue with that?
I think he was married to an Australian,
Brody.
like Tim Armstrong was married to Brody, and I don't know. I think
it's that
she broke his heart or whatever, and he's like, "Fuck Australia," because she's from. That's pretty.
But she's not going to go to the shows. And
obviously, I don't know. It's pretty extreme to block out a whole country over a chick.
No, I think there's more than that.
I've never seen them live. But she'd just get over it and come over it.
It's whatever. I'd love to see Rancid. I haven't seen Rancid, so
there's a few visa issues, I think, as well.
I mean, there's probably a few criminal records in that band.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. But
I think that breakup thing is part of it, but. Yeah, there might be something else going on behind the scene.
I'm ecstatic that band now has the drummer.
That
drummed on the greatest album of all time, as you can see there on my arm.
Oh, nice. I just noticed. I was like, what is that? What is that? Yeah, now I get it. It's the used self-titled.
It sure is. The greatest album of all time.
Okay. I wouldn't go that far, but
you can get fucked. So, Dal, you're a bit of a fucking handyman as well. So let's go through your cycle of bands that we've been through. You've brought a little merch bag. Do we want to go through that?
I have. I bought... I'm a big memorabilia guy.
Yeah?
So I've got some flyers and stuff from back in the day. Yeah, when I first moved to Newcastle, Draw the Line with the Thing, man. They were fucking great. Used to go out. It was Cambo, Hunter on Hunter.
Civic Hotel.
Yeah. I remember they played at the Hunter on Hunter.
Civic Hotel.
That's it. Now burnt down in what is definitely not an
Now
insurance.
it's a university. It's like the opposite of what it was.
It's so weird that the dude owed money and then his fucking place burnt down.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Coincidence.
Do you remember paying to play at the Hunter on Hunter? Remember that?
I never played at the.
You never played there?
No.
You did.
I played it many times.
Do you remember paying old mate to play there? You had to give him.
No, I don't remember getting I don't remember paying to play there. But
You were much more popular than I was.
But I don't know.
Maybe that has something to
that's
do
pretty
with it.
lame getting paying to play at the Hunter. I mean,
Man, we had
pay
to-
to play at pay to play at like the Horden.
The
or
first
something.
$50 had to
That's
go
it.
to the Hunter and Hunter back in the day,
Really?
man. Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Feffy played in Draw the Line and you played in fucking Gerbil Sex. So
I don't think there was that much of a difference. I think it was.
Hey
The
man,
gap was
we covered Black
small.
Sabbath like nobody else.
and put everyone to sleep.
But I remember I saw Draw the Line. It might have been a Wednesday or Thursday night at the Hunter on Hunter. When you first walk in, not out the back bar. When you first walk in,
Oh, that shit door to the left.
yeah, and there's a pool table right there. The band's playing, and people are just playing pool.
Yeah.
The guys are up there rocking out in the corner, going yeah, and people are going, oh yeah, it's all right, just playing fucking pool.
Did not give a
Yeah,
shit.
didn't give a shit.
I saw Inane Eminence did the same fucking thing. Inane Eminence, remember them?
Yeah,
I remember
Heavy
them.
as fuck. Remember those
Like
kinds of just
Swedish
playing
death
in front-
metal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
death metal.
Playing in front of
Yeah.
old pool players.
Yeah, no, I remember that. They were great.
But that pub was fucking terrific, man. It was a
Yeah.
good place to play. I mean, the atmosphere was
It was
it is what
subpar.
it is, but
Yeah.
it was fun. It
Yeah.
was something to do.
It would
Do
definitely
you
was
find
fun.
that irritating as a... You probably see it less in your originals bands, but is it weird to play music and you've got crowds intentionally ignoring you?
I don't care
You
anymore.
probably see it more so in covers.
In the covers, it's just routine. Like, I guess with Katie, like we're used to it. Like,
Yeah.
people don't go to it. Like, generally,
least when you're
people don't go to an
playing a wedding, though,
RSL
people
or a
watch.
pub for the entertainment. They go there to get pissed,
Yeah.
and they're just
It's just background.
it's just background. And you know what? It's funny. You notice when they get there, they don't even give a shit. They don't even look at what you're doing, and that's fine because we're not. We just do what we do. But you notice after 6 schooners, they're like, oh yeah, I know this song. It's just- then they all of a sudden they're like your best mates. And
Do
it's,
you guys get the fucking... Like, I got a few mates who play covers who...
Play Cletus.
No.
yeah, they just start yelling out
Cletus
shit.
the award
Cletus.
survival. No, there's that whole... There's the...
Play some of 69.
It's a cliche, but do you guys get the fucking horses thing all the time?
Fuck yeah.
Is
It's
there any
horrible.
Other, yeah, it's fucked. Is
It's
there any other
fucking,
songs?
I fucking hate that song.
What are other songs other than horses that just fucking you yell for all the time?
It'd have to be Barnsley. would be up
April
there.
Sun in Cuba.
Oh yeah.
Any Cold Chisel.
Yeah.
But it's just... They're all the songs I don't want to play. Like Summer of '69's another one. Play
Yeah.
some of... Or
That
like...
shit hasn't changed for fucking 45 years.
that's the
Like,
thing, like,
everyone's
I
been
think-
yelling out the same songs that cover.
But in saying that, I sort of...
It's like parents, they say to their kids, when you go out, yell Summer of 69. They love it.
But
And pass it down through the generation.
That's the thing. Even cunts who weren't alive when that song was out, when that song was released, still love it. Like,
Well, I'm not.
why
Think
isn't
about this
anyone
though.
why isn't anyone
This is the
yelling for
thing.
modern songs?
But no, this is a thing. Like, think about it this way though. To credit to Daryl Braithwaite and
not even
Brian
his
Adams
fucking
and
song.
stuff. Imagine being the guy that wrote the song that everybody, when they're pissed, yells out, "Play that song!" Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the one that everyone wants. It's like it's a pretty good good songwriters. Just shit songs.
Well, fucking Braithwaite's a cover. Horses is a cover.
Yeah, he didn't write that.
not even-
Oh,
his
that's right. It
fucking
is
shit.
too. Yeah. Well, sorry, I'll take that back.
I mean, I remember.
But that's
cover.
the song that he gets credit for.
Yeah. Well.
'Cause that
Is that-
was his
that's a
massive
cover?
song. Yeah, he didn't write it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
you didn't know
I
that?
actually didn't know that till
Who-
just then. So
who
that's
wrote
what I
that?
knew. I don't know.
Sid.
Yeah, see, look it up.
Hey, Jamie, pull that shit up.
Look that up. Come on.
I remember.
Yeah, it was recorded, I think,
Sid.
by a Canadian lady. Put it out on CD and it didn't sell. And then I don't think that was a single. I think he heard it and went, oh, can I record that? She gave him permission and then it got huge.
I mean,
Yeah.
one summer's heaps better anyway.
I remember one summer. I loved that when I was a kid. I was like, one summer was always a thing. Horses was a bit lame.
I remember.
like-
What was that other one?
that Braithwaite had? He only had two
Yeah,
There was another one.
Oh, really?
It was like a one-word song title.
horses.
I don't know.
it's actually the
Donkeys.
horses.
I remember going. To, I remember going to Tamworth a couple of times with the Delta Lions.
Yeah.
And Benno would normally go, "This song's by Lynyrd Skynyrd," and everyone would run to the front.
Yeah, they'd be like,
And then,
Sweet
and,
Home.
then, and then he'd go, "It's not the one that you think it is."
Yeah, it's like everyone was so
You'd start playing.
disappointed.
You'd start playing Simple Man, and all these old cunts would just go, "Oh, this isn't Sweet Home."
Be like, yeah, they'd be waiting for dun, 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 dun.
I mean, meanwhile, there's Caffrey and I going absolutely ballistic at the
Yeah,
fucking,
it was
at the
great.
pub.
We didn't care.
So you guys are both in original bands. Do you ever find any sort of urge or just keenness to play a cover today at all? after you've got your covers thing, you've done your covers thing back in the day. Do you find it today that you're still keen to play someone else's tune just to fuck around?
Within the original band?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Frenzal that they fuck about a lot with jams on stage and things like that. But do you enjoy playing someone else's tunes just for a bit of a break?
I love it. Yeah, we actually did a wedding. We did a wedding last February, so February 2019, down in Geelong, and we got paid.
Frenzal played the wedding.
Yeah, the Frenzal band.
No way, really?
Yeah, and we played covers.
That's awesome.
We played for about an hour, and then we did about 20 minutes of Frenzal songs, and then back to the covers again. We did.
That was a reception at. How was
the response?
How was the response from a crowd at a wedding playing basically a
great.
Frenzal Rhomb gig?
They knew going into it that
I mean,
we're
no
going to play
one's going to
covers,
book Frenzal Rhomb for your wedding, not expecting a loud gig. I imagine.
Oh, that's true.
They knew going into it that we're going to play covers.
Didn't you want Gay Paris at your wedding?
I did. I tried to get Gay Paris at my wedding, and they were like, "Man, look, we can maybe do like 30 minutes of something." I'm like, "No, I need like at least 3 hours."
I'm glad that both of our guests have played weddings. We'll come back to the lines later on for the song that we're going to listen to, but let's get to LRF again. How did Fef come into the LRF world? Because I guess it's kind of your Well, tell us how it started. Tell us how LRF came about.
It just came about from just start a band as you do.
Name it after a band that you're eventually going to join.
Yeah. Awkward. I was just going through a couple of bands with friends, and then they didn't work out, and then
Am I right? And I'm quoting Ryan Wilson for a lot of this today, so if it's wrong, fuck Ryan Wilson. Did you start that band on guitar?
Yes, yeah. I knew Kai O'Sullivan from just going out Wednesday night, having shots at the Lucky for $2 or whatever it was. And
were you a Lucky dude over a Cambo dude?
I was on par. Because we always knew go to Lucky first, then end up at the Cambo later.
Right. Because I never did Luckies on Wednesday. It was always Cambo Wednesday night. You could rock up by yourself and know every single person in the room. Luckies to me was always Saturday for a gig or something.
Lucky on Wednesdays was great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
Loved it.
Awesome. It was
Loved
the
it.
best.
And like you said, you didn't need to text anyone or call anyone. You knew they're just going to be there
everyone
anyway.
was there.
$2 schmitties.
Yeah.
$2 schmitties. So great.
Remember that? $2 schmitties. It was fun. Me and my old guitarist Pete would take fucking $50 out between us, and that would last us all night. And the pack of durries back in the day. It was
I never made the $2 beers, but I made $2.50.
Well, back in my day,
what did you have to do? You just
they weren't $2 schmitties, they were $2 schooners.
We paid a shilling.
I took a $20 note out. I took a $20 note out.
4 shillings for a fucking pint.
I stayed at a mate's house nearby. It isn't no joke. I took a $20 note out. I had enough to get pissed, and then the next day get a chip and gravy roll from the corner shop, and I still had change.
We wrote our penny farthings down to the fucking.
I never made it to $2 beers, but my introduction was $2.50 beers and spirits at the Cambo on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the beauty was that I was paid fortnightly, and my mate Cobby was paid fortnightly too, but they're alternating fortnights, and we were paid on Wednesdays.
So you take turns.
So my week, I just get $100 out, and I'd go to the bar for both of us all night. And then the next week, he got paid that day, $100, bar all night, basically. It was the best setup ever. And then they charge $2.80. What a cunt of a price $2.80 is, because you got loose change.
Yeah.
And then $3, even more of a rip-off, just quietly.
It's like listening to the radio in your car on volume. When it's on like 9 or something. It's got to be fucking 10.
Oh, you do that?
Like
you do
number.
the odd number thing? People are weird like that. We slightly off topic. We went away for a week, and I had a mate who was the same with the volume number. So I stole the remote, and we just always put it up one, and then wouldn't give him the remote. And he's hungover. You know Phil used to live with Kidney John and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Him just hungover as death, and I'd just go, boop, what up? So
on the odd number.
Yeah, and this cunt's just crawling along the floor like a fucking slug. just to get to the TV to go, beep. And he'd crawl all the way back, and I'd just go, beep.
Oh, man.
Anyway, LRF.
You trickster. Oh, no, we just started. I knew.
Prick is the word you're looking for.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I knew Kai, and Kai knew Luke, who is AKA Chop Dog. And Chop Dog worked at, I think it was Eagle Boys Pizza with Kai Smith. And yeah, we just had a jam. Actually, no. There was some other guy who we had a first jam with. I can't remember his name, but
So you must have been good.
yeah,
It wasn't Mitchell Jones, was it?
something like that.
Yeah.
He always
I think
claims.
I lived with him for a while. And he said he was like in local res for like a minute.
Yeah, yeah. The
What a
first
fuck-
jam
what
at
a bragger.
I think it was
I know.
at
It
the
was like
old
name dropping and shit.
at the old RTN in Mayfield, and it might have been
Ballistics.
yeah, but was that that Dave? Remember Dave?
Dave, yes.
Who
We
you-
spoke about Dave.
Dave.
Dave, man, we spoke about Dave a few weeks ago on the podcast about how he was awful. But you'd walk in and there'd be fucking just bongs everywhere.
Ballistic Dave.
Yeah, man. Ballistic
Is he
Dave.
still alive?
I hope he is. But you remember the port? The cunt was always drinking port and smoking
I remember
dope.
him from that was my very first rehearsal ever.
At Sames.
Ballistic in Fern Street. It was before it was where it was. Yeah, it was in Fern
Where's
Street
Fern-
before.
where's
yeah.
Fern Street?
It was a station.
'Cause
It's
that
basically
matters.
a few doors down from the station.
Yeah, right.
And I remember walking in there and there's bongs everywhere, there's other shit going on, and the rooms were like, they stunk like shit. And I remember his motto was always,
Well, he'd let his homeless mates come in and sleep
oh yeah,
through the
there was
night,
all
and
sorts
then
of
he'd
shit
fuck
going
them off in the
Nice thing.
morning, and then the place would smell like dog shit. And
Yeah, it was horrible, but we thought that was just rehearsal. It
was great.
Yeah.
With that, and then I remember he had his slogan. He goes, what was it? He goes, Ballistic supports live and local music. That was it. He just used to yell that out all the time. That was his thing. Live and local. It's like
I've never met this cunt, but I can picture him in my head after.
long white hair,
Honestly,
beard. Yeah,
seriously, and you guys can attest to this. If Lenny survives to be 65, he will be Dave.
He'll be
Yeah.
Ballistic Dave.
Pretty much it.
Sounds like a good looking dude. Just
Remember that one in Mayfield?
That was it. Yeah.
There was a couple upstairs and one downstairs.
Yeah.
And when he said, "Oh, you
On
guys
Maitland
are
Road.
you guys are booked downstairs," you go, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, that's right.
That
I remember
was-
that downstairs.
that
I was like, I'm going to catch Legionnaire's disease.
because it wasn't a matter of having to just relocate down the stairs. You had to fucking get your car, go up around the block,
Around the-
horrible.
yep.
fuck around for half an hour before you got around the back street in Mayfield just to plug your gear into some shitty fucking socket that wasn't going to work.
I swear it wasn't even a room. I swear just someone dug out
was a dungeon.
fucking hole
Yeah.
in the middle of the fucking
It was great.
under a building, and you get electric shocks from the microphone as well. You're like,
If Dave didn't have captured women in there for at least a fortnight period, I will be surprised, man.
oh,
Like,
same, dude. I don't. Yeah.
it was nuts. It was great. It was a good experience. I tried to explain this the other week, but no one was here to understand what the fuck I was talking about. You
There's all
guys-
these
you get it.
kids. They rehearse at and God bless this place or whatever. Novatone,
the
which is
Novatone, yeah.
Novatone's like a great place. You know,
Oh,
it's
man,
so
that's-
clean and pristine. I love that place. Love it. You know, shout out to Novatone. But it's a far cry. Like it's just so different from. I go in there and I'm like, it's fucking clean. There's Glen 20 in the air. It's like,
before we
you
jump
know,
back to
It's
LRF,
painted.
Yeah.
Before we jump back to LRF, do you want to hear a funny Novatone story?
sure,
yeah,
of
sure.
course.
So Benno and Ryan kind of built that themselves,
I know that.
and they called in Zinger and Caffrey to help them out.
Yep.
And apparently, Zinger was like on a roof doing something and just fucking fell through the cunt. But didn't fall through, like fell and then stopped halfway. His arms kind of caught him. So Ryan's on the fucking hammer and nail somewhere, fucking hammering something away, and goes, he's Ryan, come and fucking help me. And then looks up to where the roof is, and there's Zinger's just torso. And apparently
That's great. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's just dangling through the roof on the way up.
I had not heard that before. That's
So
hilarious.
apparently this whole time Benno's just doing nothing, according to everyone.
Oh, that's all.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's funny.
Novatone it's heaven on earth for if you're in a bit like band practice rehearsal spaces. It's so good.
As a drummer and as a fat man, air conditioning was always fucking... Because I never went to ballistics. I had RTN.
Yeah.
And there was one...
Ballistics was literally like cell blocks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was concrete rooms with concrete floors and... That was it.
A lot of dampness. They needed, those little
the dank.
Those damp rid things you can buy from the supermarket. They needed about fucking 400 in a room.
I remember RTN had one room that was working air conditioner and one room without.
Well, that was when they moved to Mayfield. Because RTN, they went to Mayfield first, right? RTN. They moved into the ballistic studio.
RTN, it was Mayfield.
Because they had for a while,
Mayfield East.
For a while, they had one room that was decent to record in because it was air conditioned and comfortable, and the rest was still smelt like balls.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have helped that smell when I was there. I played in a singlet and shorts and just sweat my ass out, and there's Ryan in fucking 13 layers of shirt. I'm like, how are you not fucking sweating, cunt?
Oh, Magda.
Yeah, Magda Zavansky. What? Is that new to you, man?
No, it's not new. It's very old.
As something you know about, I reckon.
Yeah, that's it. I can relate.
He's a good-looking bloke.
Oh, he's the best-looking bloke in the room, and the cunt's fucking 45.
You talking about Ryan Wilson or me?
You.
I'm not about Ryan Wilson. He's a good-looking bloke. Like
You can have him.
I don't want him,
You
but
can fight Amanda for him anyway. Look,
Yeah, I'm actually scared to meet someone, a person of the opposite sex and take them out and then say, let's go to the pub and to be in the same room as this guy. Because I know they're going to look over at him and just dream. It'll be like the Wayne's World thing. I'm like, oh, fuck him. I've lost him.
it's like when Cameron Diaz walks into the mask.
Into the bank.
It's like, who's this fucking bald, good-looking cunt? Why is everyone at normal pace and he's just walking slow motion through the pub?
Just pointing at people.
Yeah, just finger guns to everyone.
That's me, yeah.
Well, you dump this zero and get with a hero. I'm certain I've heard you say that to 12 women.
I've said that to probably 11, okay? All right. Guilty as charged.
well, look, let's take a break and have a smoke.
Let's have a look.
What do we got?
Let's go out on. Actually, we'll come back to LRF. Let's go out on Loosen Off. Tell us how the fuck Loosen Off.
You know how it's done.
I want you to tell me.
I think it was.
So this song is spelt Luce space.
No, it's not
E-N-O-
Luce. It's Lucy and Noth.
Lucy
Yeah.
space Enoth.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
I think it was a message that was sent. Actually, I think it was Dan.
Yeah.
From Tamworth. And
So Lucy and Noth is loose enough.
a basic translation, a Tamworthian translation is loose enough, but it come out on the message Lucy and Noth.
Well,
I don't even know what the original message was.
Well, it's got nothing to do with the song anyway. So.
It's got absolutely nothing to do, no relevance whatsoever.
It makes sense to me. Let's have a listen.
Photoshop face on a magazine, drama disgrace on the TV screen, worth the lane and dirt in my jeans.
Oi, oi, oi!
Hollywood, the colored green, plastic people in a plastic scene, equals the last few drinks in my beer. She walks out with a scowl on her face, all talked out and nothing to say. Yeah, and all it's worth is the dirt in my jeans. She walks out and nothing to say. Do you remember when we didn't care? Now the attention just so unfair. Steady intake of the junk food news. Got it wiped right down to the shoes. Tastes like cigarettes in my bed. She walks out with a scar on her face. All talked out and nothing to say. Yeah, when all it's worth is the dirt in my jeans. She walks out and nothing to say. Is the dirt in my jeans. She walks out. She walks out with a scar on her face. All talked out and nothing to say. Yeah, when all it's worth is the dirt in my jeans. She walks out. Nothing to say.
Sounds like a G.
Lenny, who was that?
That was the Delta Lions. One of the great bands that I met Feffy through. Well, became friends with Feffy through.
Oh,
Dal,
pretty
how did you
sweet.
meet Feff?
Just for the scene, I think. But it was watching that band. It was good to. I was like talking before about different musical genres and stuff. It was.
You're right, Ed.
It's called a chair. It's called a chair.
First time sitting down, mate.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, just for the scene. I like I was saying before, I saw Draw the Line a few times, and then all the fucking other 20 bands that he was in, and then just sort of started talking,
Hanging out.
Well, we're going
just
to
people around the same scene and stuff.
we're going to delve pretty deep now into to local resident failure. So we
Yep.
started talking about, I guess, how it came about. So
Yeah,
let's
just-
pick back up there.
Starting a band with friends and people who knew other people, and then we did that for a little while and played some shows, did some EP. I did 3 EPs, I think, and then I was saying before, Luke left the band.
Luke being Chop Dog.
Yep, Chop Dog, and
And
then
why do you do air bunnies when you say left? The band?
I wasn't supposed to do that.
You're on camera, dude.
He was relieved of his duties.
Ah, yes, okay. So Luke wasn't in the band anymore.
Nah, and so then I knew my friend Steve Randall.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Strandle.
Great name.
I was gonna say.
So then
Steve
I said,
Randy.
you play guitar and I'll play bass. And then we did that for a little while. And then Steve didn't want to do it anymore. But by this time, we had gotten to the point where I was like, let's do an album.
So what year is this?
This is 2012, I think. Or 2011 maybe. So yeah, we decided to do an album, and Kai was pretty close with Feff, and he said, "Oh, here's this guy who records bands and makes them sound fucking really good." So we just went and did them. Recorded with him, and he was great.
Little do you know you'd eventually steal his job. Good
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Everyone's best friend.
But he was great. He had input into the producing role and input to the songs and made them sound even better. And then
So was Breath of Stale there?
yeah, that was the first one.
Was that 2014 or 2012?
I think that was 20. I've got it here.
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
2012.
And that was that really the first recording for you guys, or?
No, we did three EPs before that, and a live thing at 301 with Heath
Yeah, right.
Rowley. Shout out.
Another man who's Feffy stolen the job from.
Yeah. Sorry, Heath. Love ya.
Tune in next week to Nightrain Radio with Jay and Feffy.
Oh God.
And natural fit. You know,
Yeah.
love the style of music and
Yeah.
you know, great fucking songwriter and great input, great producer. You know, recording
jeez.
skills and stuff. So, natural fit. Do you want to be in the band? He went, "Oh, do I have to?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay."
Was that your first time fronting a band?
No.
No?
I fronted that one that we played before.
You said you're on guitar.
Yeah, I played guitar. I didn't sing on that one, but I sung other songs.
Right,
So it was like whoever wrote the song
Sung it.
Yeah.
That was the same with the Lions, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of yours, Feffy, seem to be relatively relationship based, whereas you're quite political in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, more social commentary.
Is that what you set out to do, or is that just kind of
No, not really. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, as you progress as a songwriter, you don't want to write songs about, I don't know, going to the playground or whatever. That's a
Michael
baddie.
Jackson still wrote.
And how?
That's what his shopping list looked like. Actually.
I just gotta go to the playground.
At the moment, though, I guess since you write more political sort of minded songs, with everything that's going on with the George Floyd thing, the Black Lives Matters movement, do you find anything that's going on currently in society to be an influence on your current songwriting?
Yeah, yeah. It's always been there, just not as advertised as it now. Like I write a lot of songs about racism and stuff, where it was a big part of my life, being discriminated against and stuff. No one else experienced, and you know, people kept saying, "Oh, you write too many songs about racism." I was like, well, until you,
it's your experience. So
until you cop it, then you can,
definitely.
yeah. So
and in Dubbo, it wouldn't have been too fucking easy either. Like, it would have been a bit of a challenge. It's a small town. It's a very black and white town.
Yeah. Small rural town of about 40,000 people. But our scene in Dubbo was pretty good. Like I found, you know, the music scene, and we found venues and set up our own PAs and booked our own bands and stuff. It was a lot like when I moved here as well. We did the same thing, and that's what
the
really
beauty
got to do.
The beauty I find in punk, I guess, more so than metal scenes, is punk. I mean, you got cunts who are metalheads who are burning churches down and being aggressive towards everyone that is different, whereas punk feels a lot like, no matter what you are, no matter what you do, come hang out with us.
Well, that's it. It's more accepting. It's for all the misfits, I guess, and more the, you know, that's the whole vibe of it. It's inclusive, you know, and it should be.
So
that's what it is.
So you recorded the first LRF.
I tracked it. Yeah, I recorded it, but
that's where we did the drums.
But it was, I think. Well, the drums were actually recorded by my TAFE teacher at the time.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
studying sound engineering, so they were recorded by a guy named Uncle Phil.
Right.
Yeah,
Uncle
that's
Phil.
right.
Fucking hell, nothing sus about that.
And this
Nothing
was like
sus. He was a bit
in this schmick studio in
Yeah.
I think Wickham with about 20 mics on the drums in
Yeah,
this
it's
massive
insane.
room built for pianos, and the reverb was fucking beautiful, like just the natural sound of it. And we were just going, and he recorded that for free, the drums for free.
It's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
Guy's a fucking animal on that drum kit too.
yeah,
He is.
because by around then he you know was the only one in the band that actually practiced
Yeah.
and got better.
I mean, all due respect, it kind of shows, man.
Oh, corky.
He's the one that played basketball half time, isn't he?
But yeah, I think so Uncle Phil tracked the drums. I tracked everything
sounds
else.
Wasn't Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince?
I think so. It was.
Yeah,
His
He
name
was.
Phil.
Yeah. Sid's
Phil,
telling me he was. Yeah,
yeah.
He was.
He was a
Sid
nice
would
guy.
know.
He looked like Peter Griffin from Family Guy, by the way. Yeah, and he hated. You never could say that. And don't ever mention the Peter Griffin thing. Okay.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay,
he looked. That was when Family Guy was like, you know,
massive.
massive, and it was like, you know, we used to like be like, "Hey, Lois," and he'd be like, "Shut the fuck up."
I mean,
So,
I don't think anyone
yeah.
wants to look like Peter Griffin.
No, he was like, yeah. We even do the laugh, like, he just gets you. Anyway, but then after that, the guys decided, I think it was the best decision because I was pretty inexperienced with the mixing side of things, and I just, you know, and they were like, let's get it mixed at the blasting room
Yeah, that's right.
with Bill
yeah.
Stevenson, and
Where's the blasting room?
it's in Colorado.
Oh,
think,
right.
you know?
Colorado.
Yeah.
So,
It's
Bill
like
Stevenson,
Bill Stevenson of
So
the
not Wiggum.
Descendants. So it was a big
Played
deal.
in-
Like, that's where like most,
Yeah, right.
you know, the who's who get their stuff mixed, or they produce it there.
And this is your first album.
Yeah.
That's
So it came back, and I was like, "Fuck! Wow, that sounds amazing."
Yeah, right.
It was incredible to see what they did with it.
And how do we go from album number 1 with you tracking to album number 2 with you singing and playing guitar?
I didn't really sing on it.
No, you did the backup?
I did a couple, but Dal did most of the harmonies and
Yeah,
stuff.
right, okay.
He handled most. I did the guitars, and then I engineered and I.
Because you did some of the guitars on the first one as well.
I did some of the guitars on the first one, not a great deal, but on the second one I did them all.
Because it was kind of like,
So,
it always kind of felt like it was your baby, Dal. Like that band was
Yeah.
Dal's band. At what point does Fef come from, I guess, helping to being in the band?
Just after that first record, I think Steve.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to leave and go. Yeah, he wanted to go travel.
Didn't he go? You know, overseas?
Over Steve.
Overseas? Over Steve's?
Yeah, I think he was going
Yeah.
to Indonesia to go surfing for a little while and for a few months, and he said, "Look, I don't want to hold you up." And then so Fef came into the band, and then we did fucking heaps of stuff.
Yeah, nice.
We did a lot.
At the risk of making a terrible segue to the next song we're going to listen to, you guys did a bit of international touring with that band. How does that come about for a little band from Newcastle to end up in Japan?
Fucked if I know.
I think they contacted us.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
because-
Over.
Yeah.
I was at home, they rang me.
They wanted me.
No, I think because Chop Dog did most of the booking,
Yeah, okay.
which was good, so we didn't have to do anything. But once he left, Smitty took over that role as well. So, and I think it was around that time he started doing his drum things and getting a bit more noticed. And then, someone from Japan got in contact with him and then said, "Do we want to go to Japan?" And we said, "Sure."
I think it was Europe first, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Europe was first. Yeah.
And what's it like for a bunch of punks, you four and I think it was just you four and Paddy Debs, wasn't it?
Yep.
You're quite young back then too, right?
Fef wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't. Everybody else was in their youth. Oh.
30,
So
38.
Fef was able to drink, everyone else wasn't.
Fef was the only one who could rent a car.
Yeah, Europe was 20.
But honestly, being young kids, like fucking, what's it like, man, to be able to go overseas and play for someone else that has never heard your shit or
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. 'Cause
It was a good
we'd been
time.
around Australia a few times and that was fucking fun. But now with the internet, you can go and suss out bands from other countries. And when you go there and play and people know the words to your songs, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Songs that you write on an acoustic in your bedroom. It's nice.
People that speak a different language singing your lyrics.
With a weird accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
and then they start pirating things, and that's when you know you've made it.
Yeah.
I remember Chambers told me one day he found Chambers of Insanity, the album on Spotify, on fucking LimeWire or some shit, and he was absolutely over the moon. He was someone stealing my
It's
album.
gonna be an ego boost when someone's stealing it from you. When you guys were playing, did you guys nab like supports for local bands, or was it like an LRF show that you guys were playing, or?
It varied.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a time there where every band that came through, every, punk band, our genre band came through, we'd get to play with.
No, I'm talking internationally though.
Oh. What was
Is that where you were you going, let's try and get a support here and that'll be our show in
Oh,
Germany?
Yeah, definitely. We're just trying to jump on the shows of American bands over there.
Yeah.
And we did sometimes, but not always.
Were there bands
Yeah.
overseas that you'd already known of that you wanted to play with that weren't, fucking popular, but you thought, these guys would be cool to play with or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, there was a couple of, in Germany with the Implants.
Implants, which has got members of Strung Out and
Yeah.
Pulley, and so that was fucking awesome. I was like, oh, cool.
I only found Pulley like fucking 6 months ago. What a
Oh, they're
band.
great.
Yeah,
Under-
great
underrated.
band, and,
underrated.
Because of Paddy. Paddy was wearing a Pulley shirt, and I was like, okay, I'll check that out. And then it was
You're
great.
pretty new to punk, like you. Hated
Very
it.
new, yeah.
You hated it
Because
in
of
high school.
basically because of the Gaslight Anthem. I found those guys a few years ago, and Spotify told me to check out some other things, and I found bands like Bad Religion and Lagwagon and things like that. But before that, man, was definitely always Guns N' Roses and Metallica, and definitely more the hard rock / metal thing. But only the last 3 years has been
you've been pretty
punk,
new.
Yeah,
Surprised me when I rock up on you.
Well, last year I got the notification to say that I was in the top 5% of playing Bad Religion on Spotify. Or fucking,
That ain't a bad thing.
Considering I'd found the band 6 months before, that I was like, you know what, I'm a fan.
Yeah, definitely a fan.
Dal, you've I believe supported Bad Religion with Frenzal, right?
Yeah.
In New Zealand.
I was there. I came over.
Auckland, yeah.
That was cool.
That was in Wellington.
Just
or
looking for another job to steal.
Auckland.
Auckland.
Yeah, I was like, come on. Someone break
How
me
was
up.
that, dude? Like, that would have been a fucking trip for you.
Yeah, it was fucking great. Because they asked for us personally, so
They did.
it was Body Jar, Frenzal, and then Bad Religion.
Yeah, nice.
And they asked for Frenzal personally.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a massive deal.
For a band to travel to another country, like,
There's a bit of a tie-in because Lindsay's played guitar in Gimme Gimmes when I saw Gimme Gimmes, and that's
Yeah.
the Bad Religion bass player, isn't it?
yeah,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah.
Surgeon.
Yeah, the surgeon.
This-
Lindsay the Surgeon McDougal. that must be great having free medical on tour. You briefly touched on it.
Man, we interviewed Jay back when was
the
this?
prick won't leave me
2.5 years ago. whenever it was.
Thrashville.
Yeah, Thrashville. Yeah, when we were
were
doing
there?
the TV show.
Yeah.
We interviewed Jay, and I was
Going through a mental breakdown.
basically I was right in the guts of a mental breakdown, and I asked Jay
It's
the
fucking fun to be around.
Oh, dude, if you watch back at it, I cringe like a motherfucker. I asked him the dumbest questions and said the stupidest shit. I tried telling him that Gordy was a great drummer. I love Gordy. I'm a drummer, and Gordy is one of my favourites, blah, blah, blah. I eventually said to him, so Gordy isn't good. What's up with that? The cunt just looked at me. And I'm thinking, what are you looking at? I just asked you a question, dude. But
And I'm standing there going, do I look at the camera? Do I look at Jay? Do I fucking look for a roof to hang from? What do I do?
it was fucking awful. So Jay, if you're listening, mate, I apologise. I was off my head.
Quit bothering me at pubs when you see me just quietly. We briefly touched on LRF getting a shit ton of support gigs. What were some of the gigs you got and how'd they go down?
We played with Lagwagon, me first in the Gimme Gimmes, Mill and Colin, played with Frenzal.
Frenzal? Is that a German Frenzal Rhomb couple bands?
What did they call them before? Friends of Ron.
Friends of Ron.
We played with NoFX. Those shows are actually NoFX, Frenzal, and then Local Resident Fire. So it was, I think we played with Frenzal a couple times, so started to get to know them a bit more, and then.
Did you guys play with Frenzal at the infamous Tomtyland show?
No, that was a long
That was
long
way
time ago.
before.
Were you at that show?
Nah.
No. I got mates who went to that. Said it was the most fucking wild thing they've ever been.
Was
to.
that with H2O? Or
Was it H2O? Yeah.
So they say meet your heroes. They can either be fantastic or they can be pricks. How was it opening for bands that you grew up listening to?
Yeah.
And meeting them, I should say.
It makes your level of respect when they're fucking cool just go up even more.
Most of them,
great.
we were lucky. Most of them were cool.
Yeah.
I think most bands we like, that we looked up to and influenced by. Most of them were.
I mean, there's an unwritten law that you shouldn't speak about bands that are pricks.
Yeah, there's
an
that.
unwritten law that you should not watch unwritten law.
Just saying.
Glad we all picked up on that.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Russo, you prick.
We did those festivals at the start of the year, those Hotter Than Hell festivals,
yeah.
and Unwritten Law played, and fuck, he's a douchebag.
There you go.
I could take
Someone had to say it.
I can take solace in the fact that he's probably not going to hear this.
Whatever.
So, Hotter Than Hell, that was some weird lineups. Because it was Super Heister on a couple.
Yeah,
Did you guys play with Super Heist?
No, nah. I went one time. I was living in Broadmeadow, and Super Heist played at the uni. We went and watched Super Heist. We got drunk, and then we came home, and our house had been robbed.
That's a cool story.
So
Thanks, Superheist.
yeah, fuck you, Superheist. Should have stayed home.
Mentioning festivals, you posted something pretty recently that was kind of cool. I believe it was Livid 99 or Homeback 99. You posted a show that you went to as a young man.
Oh, that was a show at the Sutherland Entertainment Centre.
And what was the lineup? Something for Kate.
Was Jebediah?
Jebediah, something for Kate.
I love it. I'm gonna say it. I love Jebediah.
Me too.
They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
Every band like Violent Soho, every band that sounds like that band that's big on Triple J owes Jebediah money.
They do. They absolutely do.
But is it weird for you? Because the reason I bring this post up is that you, as a kid, went to this show that was like something for Kate, Jebediah, blah, 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 blah. This year, you're meant to be playing that exact lineup.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that a head
fucking
fuck?
crazy, yeah. And then someone posted a photo online of, Homebake, and zoomed in, and there's me right in the front row, watching Frenzal from the front row at Homebake 99, and now I get to fucking do it. It blows my mind, but fucking crazy. But all those other bands, Jebediah and Spiderbait, and
It's such a Jason Newsted type story, you know. Like you remember hearing stories when you were a kid about Jason Newsted joining Metallica after seeing them for so long, and then he joins the band and he's excited and all that shit. And so, Dal, I guess
you're like our local resident Mark Wahlberg.
Dude, I mean, honestly, you were a fan of Frenzal, and they've been around for a long fucking time. What 94?
92 they started, I think, yeah.
With Dick Sandwich.
yeah.
Yeah, so you've been a fan since you were a kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had absolutely zero aspirations of joining that band or whatever, you doing your own thing. How is it being, you're all grown up and the band is established and you're a big boy. How is it, dude, to walk up on stage now in front of a billion people and go, fuck, I'm a part of this now?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Until you experience it, can't explain it really. It's just fucking great. Yeah.
It'd be like me playing Surprise You're Dead with Faith No More.
Pretty much. Same thing.
But people like Jay and Lindsay and Gordy who are, they're known amongst, the Australian music community, and then you're all of a sudden thrust amongst that. How is that for you?
Yeah, I think it's all right. Because I think through LRF, when we played with them and sort of got our name out there a bit, I think that people think, that's just the next logical step for them. Like that guy who was in LRF. They played with Frenzal.
Frenzal Rhomb.
Frenzal Rhomb.
Yeah, just to be in. I don't know. It's just because LRF sounded a lot like fucking Frenzal, and
No.
Not at all. Not at all. I thought we sounded like Nickelback, but
there's
just me.
That's all right.
new Nickelback tune coming out soon too. I think.
The 14th, it should have been yesterday.
Oh, hey, I'm bear.
So what is this photograph? At what point do you go, right, LRF's my baby, I've had it since the start. At what point do you go, right, let's put this to bed?
Well, Smitty wanted to part ways because he was going to be a dad.
Yep.
So that's totally
That
understandable.
hasn't stopped Feffy. He's got kids all over the country.
Yeah.
What?
But I sort of held on hope there for a little bit, but it was just time. It was time.
And what was
We did all the things.
Am I right?
We ticked some boxes,
I could be wrong here.
maybe.
Was the last show? Obviously, you played a couple of reunions. Was the last show at the Wicco?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was at the Gallipoli.
No, that was like a reunion.
Oh, the very last show.
Was
Yeah, that
was a Wicco.
Was that with the
Wicco.
Polkas?
With the
Yes.
Polkas, yeah.
With the Pokers.
Was that a show
Polkas.
that you guys had put on and then they jumped on, or was that them going, "Hey, do you want to do your last show with us?"
I think we're already on it.
Yeah, I think it just happened.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's
Well, it was a fucking good run. LRF. It lasted. What was the time frame?
05.
To 2017.
yes.
Yeah,
I think was it?
17 was
17.
Gallipoli, wasn't it?
Is
No,
it done
no.
now, or is it still an open door for.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Well, let's have a listen. This is certainly Feffy and Dell's work together, which we don't have much of, except for this song. So let's have a listen to "Around the World" by local resident Ferfoglia.
So this song.
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
This song was, I don't know, it was about following someone around the world, but this song and this whole album that this song's from was recorded by Feffy. Everything recorded, mixed by Feffy.
Yeah, right.
And that was good to
So you
have in the band
produce
as well,
this
so.
essentially.
Yeah.
What's that?
You produce it.
I did, yeah, as well as performing.
Did you write most of these songs yourself, or was there much input from the other dudes?
Oh, yeah, sort of wrote the basic part to the songs, and then we go in and make them a lot better.
Yeah,
just-
Because he can do the...
Not really. Then you wrote it. It's just embellishing on what was already there.
And then you
Pretty much. Thanks,
make
Ben.
drive you all around the world.
I've been out of this suburb and I've been out of this state. I've never been away with you, and maybe that was my mistake. I'd pack my bags tomorrow if you wanted to run away. I'd leave my friends behind again if you let me come and stay. I'll board this flight alone. I'd find you and we went in Rome, and I'd go anywhere, yeah, just to be with you. I'll board this flight alone and hope that one day we find home, and I'd go anywhere, yeah, just to be with you. Let's cross the river Nile, let's fly down Everest. We'll take the train through America and we end up at the best. Make a jelly wrestling in the middle of Times Square. Climb the Great Wall of China and never up to Disneyland. I'll board this flight alone. I'd find you and we went in Rome, and I'd go anywhere, yeah, just to be with you. I'll board this flight alone and hope that one day we find home, and I'd go anywhere, yeah, just to be with you. All around the world, all around the world. I'll board this flight alone. I'd find you and we'd went in Rome. I'd go anywhere, yeah, just to be with you. I'll board this flight alone and hope that one day we find home. I'd go anywhere, yeah, just to be with you.
Sort of sound like the songs sound like some of them sound really poppy and sort of like like. Are we on?
We're on.
Okay, we're on. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that sort of
I've
thing.
always thought that not that album sounds depressing, not that album sounds depressing at all, just quietly, but like it must be a weird thing for a drummer or a guitarist or whatever to have their singer go and sing this song and just go, "You fucking alright, man." Like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
want to cuddle?
Yeah, it was a bit like that. It was Shadow of My Former Self. That was one. I mean, that speaks for itself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck, that's dude, are you okay? You know?
Well,
Yeah, it was...
let's talk about the other song that. What makes you write a song about someone that you don't like?
that they're a fucking dickhead.
Pretty simple, isn't it, Lenny?
Shout out to Liberation Front.
Yeah. I mean, some people are just douchebags.
I think when I messaged you today, Feffy, I found a text that I sent you recently. Well, the last
Actually,
text I
I'll
sent
have a
you.
look. Oh, well, yeah, you tell me.
It was basically, hey, just saw this person. Fuck, he's a fat cunt now. And it was me saying it, who weighs fucking 420 kilos.
Right. That's
the thing about that night is that he walks up and goes, "I haven't seen you in it must have been," and I said about 30 kilos, and he just went, "Oh
shit, dude. You are like brutal. You are brutal.
and he just goes, "Yeah, man. So I'll talk to you later." He just walked off so good
Oh, dude.
because I'm a sweetheart.
You really
It's
are.
just like that thing when you're saying before, you go around town calling yourself a punk and do punk things, but you're a fucking douchebag about.
Just because it's fast doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, exactly. That's, I don't know. I mean, he just rubs. Some people rub your what is it? Your buttons.
Rub your buttons. I don't know. I want to meet these people.
Rubbed a few buttons every time. I think.
Rub my button, please.
Hopefully I've done it right over the years.
I'll ask Jess, hey, honey, rub my button.
Want me to rub that button? Well, let's talk about people we like. What are we all doing nowadays other than Frenzal Rhomb? Are you still writing your own tunes?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have much input in what they're writing?
Yeah. It's like any band where they'll write a bass to this basis or a basic sort of tune, and then you hear it, and then we'll go and jam it, and then
Jay and Lindsay, the main songwriters in that regard.
Yeah. I've written a couple.
So they'll have a riff, and then they'll send it to you guys, and
they'll write a whole song with like computer drums and guitar and bass and some vocals, which make up a song.
Yeah.
And then we go and
we write
Really?
we go, let's do some drums, let's do some guitar, let's do some bass, let's do a vocal. That might be a song.
maybe.
Is it Dream Theater don't have vocals, do they?
Dream Theater have vocals.
Do they? Okay, yeah.
They're big fucking shit like power metal vocals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. In fact, you've stolen Heath Rowley's job in Hack the Mainframe.
Yes, stolen.
Is that your main
Claim to
originals
fame?
band nowadays?
Yeah, totally.
You doing anything else?
No, absolutely nothing.
How come?
Um,
You're Feffy with 30 bands.
I don't know.
And you're 60.
I'm just lazy now. I guess getting in old age, you get lazy.
Yeah. Is it weird? Have you got to play venues with ramps now?
Yeah. So it's a bit hard. Venue access is an issue these days. It's come on, guys.
Sorry, mate.
No, not you guys. Like the venues, get your act together. Ramps.
I got to admit that
Ramps
you look fucking.
overstairs.
You don't look 48. Whatever
I'm
it is.
glad I don't.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, you probably haven't got long left to hear these jokes.
That's right. Exactly. I'm making the most of it. That's why I'm here, guys. Thank you for listening.
So you guys, much like Jay and myself, have pretty much spent most of your life loving music.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it has brought to you as a dude, as a person?
It's made me the black sheep of the family.
Racial? No need.
It's like that guy, that guy in the family is like the loser musician.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
me.
Black sheep.
Black sheep, yeah. Anyway,
Black
but apart
sheep.
from that, I
But
don't know.
you for a while there worked out a way of making a living from music, either playing, recording bands.
It's called struggling.
But you've done it.
But I did it for a little bit. But yeah, I think it's like the cliche shit. Like man, it's awesome.
I mean,
it's fucking. I'm very grateful for the stuff I've done and learnt and
if you're anything
continue
like me,
to learn.
like other than your friends from school, most of the friends I have nowadays are through music.
Yeah,
Imagine you guys are pretty
I
similar.
know what you mean. Like, there's friends I've got. They're like, "Oh man, I used to listen to punk rock," and it's like, "What used to?"
Yeah.
Well, there's this weird thing. Like, do you think?
Sorry, interrupt. 2 seconds. The whole punk thing, you mentioned Slayer a couple of times.
Yeah,
Like,
I love them.
I've noticed that Slayer is
Why would
definitely an influence on so many fucking punk bands. But however, Slayer are part of that genre that seem to be like just fucking dickheads.
If you're not metal
So-
and you're not
Well,
Slayer,
Kerry King seems
Essentially,
like
yeah.
an arsehole.
So
Yes.
my question is, when it comes to the punk rock influence, the whole Slayer thing, I don't don't get. Like, where is that from?
For me, it's musical.
Is
So
it the
it's
speed
like,
of
it's
the
a speed
band,
and the technical. I mean,
because
punk-
they're a fast band, or
Yeah.
they were a fast band, and that's the only influence I can see is being the speed.
yeah, I don't really like. For me personally, like I don't really. I mean, yeah, I guess like I love punk rock music or whatever. I don't get into the whole like punker than thou bullshit. Like I don't care who just fucking claims to be punk rock. I'm just a guy who happened to play punk music and and I listen to all different sorts of shit. I love, as far as Slayer goes, I don't really take much notice of the whole external shit. It's more like just that's what I kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
In a way, and I was like, I went, fuck, I love that. It's brutal and it's fast and it's, it's more about the riffs for me. It's I don't really, the lyrics are kind of neither here or there. It's not
until you see Jamie Hay play Rain and Blood on a band.
Well, that's
One, two, yelly, yelly.
I remember Jamie. That's a funny story. Back in the Lucky Country days when we were talking about before, I remember we are talking about Slayer and it was a vague recollection of this, but basically, that's the song "Angel of Death," and he did the Angel of Death scream like the Tom O'Reilly, like full like, but he did it like perfect, and it was like, it was crazy. That was it. End of the story. Cool story, bro. But yeah,
We're all going, where's this going?
nowhere.
We like Slayer.
That's it. There's no reason, as
Sure,
Slayer. You just like Slayer. If you don't, you don't.
I imagine it's just the pace and the tempo. It's got a bit of a punk attitude.
That's
to it.
it, like-
the lyrics are fucking shit and the band sucks, but it's fast. I hate Slayer.
I remember
enough.
when I was a fucking 18-ish year old, and Sum 41 were the band.
Yeah, Kerry King done a song with it.
Exactly. So the whole Slayer thing was huge for the punk thing. And I never understood it. That's all.
I think they were like, Slayer, from what I've understood, is they were influenced heavily by punk as well as metal. Like, so they were influenced by Iron Maiden, but they were also influenced by a lot of. They even did a punk covers album at one stage. So there's a parallel with there's a bit of a punk sort of theme going on with those guys. So that's where I don't know. I just like the speed of it, metal guitars. I'm a sucker for that shit. So yeah, whatever.
The Slayer thing, like you could take a Slayer song, like the speed of the drums, the guitar riffs, and take the screaming out of it and put melodic singing there, and it's a punk song.
Yeah,
It's not
Exactly.
metal anymore. That's how easy it is between the genres. To you just take the screaming out and put the singing there. Now it's a whole different genre.
Some blurred lines.
Yeah.
It's like,
Funnily enough, you mentioned.
Well, Jay Wally can fucking. That dude could be in a metal band for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
His vocals,
he's
he's got that real, like, honest Aussie fucking punk sort of vocal thing going on, but he's got that growl that you could
he does.
Yeah.
hear in a punk band. In a metal band.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's like this contrast between the two. It's like like you said, the punk sort of snotty nosed singing thing going on. Then he got that brutal like fucking. When he screams, it's fucking brutal. But it's fucking I love the contrast of that.
I mean, speaking of contrast, in quite a contrast to Slayer, why do you think punk translates so well to acoustic as well? Because there's over the last decade or so, there's been a rise in, I guess, your punk frontman going acoustic.
That's how I found punk, like the whole Frank Turner thing and him playing, basically how he plays and just the acoustic, everything other than the attitude. The attitude is so punk, but the music is just punk. Acoustic, yeah.
Because it was weird to me, because you guys might have a better insight, but to me, punk was always fast drums, loud guitar, blah blah blah. But then you can hear an acoustic song and go, "That's a punk song." And you do punk covers quite regularly. Is that what is it? I think
it's just the melody, right?
It's a melody. I think it's the delivery as well. It's not like it's the difference between I don't know Ed Sheeran and Frank Turner. Obviously, there's a difference. It's like you listen to it and you go, Ed Sheeran's more of a pop vibe or whatever it is, and then you got Frank Turner, and it comes from a more you know, it's in the delivery, it's in the lyrics, attitude, it's that sort of thing. I don't know. But then again, it's all subjective. Like some people think Frank Turner's not punk at all. Like,
yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Like,
It's all this is just subjective shit.
Yeah.
You know?
When Frank was on our show, we copped some shit for people saying us, Frank is not punk rock. Like, well, what is he?
Who cares? The way I see it, it doesn't really matter. Some people say that fucking, you know, Blink is
that dude was
punk
fucking.
rock, you know,
he
whatever,
was probably
like,
the most
cares?
punk rock fucking guest we've had on the show.
Attitude wise,
he was just who gives a fuck. I mean, I want to talk, I want to sing, and that's it.
I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I think it depends really. The whole punk rock, or what's punk, you know, is more about the person who's actually asking the question. It's like, you know, some people think punk rock is like if it sounds like punk rock, it is punk rock. Other people are like, no, it's actually about the attitude and the ethics and the thing behind that. Like, you know, it's not so much about because it's got double
It's
time
so
drums
weird, though.
and
Yeah,
the sort of
that's
guitars. It's like, you know,
It's so weird. I mean, when Lenny and I done the Cabin Collective opening, and Dal, you played that.
So did Ferfy.
Thanks, Lenny.
I believe Heath was meant to play, but Ferfy said.
Yeah, sorry, Heath.
But it just seemed like, even though it was a very laid back country coffee fucking just who gives a fuck sort of feel, it definitely was a punk rock thing. Like it was different.
It's attitude, man. It's all about the attitude.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Because that day,
it is all attitude. You can get someone like Avril Lavigne who says, "I'm punk," blah blah blah, and you know she might write songs that sound like punk music, but
Until she played Fuel.
yeah, well, it's pop music. But then you could get someone like, say, Lily Allen, who writes pop music, who doesn't give a fuck. That's attitude,
Yeah,
and that's pretty punk.
man,
like having
fucking Lady
attitude.
Gaga's about as fucking punk as it gets, as far as
Yeah, that's it.
The
Just because
old
music's not
fucking
aggressive.
punk versus so-and-so album. Remember those? The old it was like punk versus metal and punk versus
yeah, like
oh, yeah,
punk
yeah,
goes
yeah.
punk goes metal,
Yeah,
punk
yeah,
goes
yeah.
acoustic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, well, actually, it's funny.
those albums. Actually, in my opinion, they showed that the punk
It
scene
translates,
could,
yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Getting back to Slayer with that punk goes metal one. Actually, my favorite there's that punk goes metal compilation, and there's a band called Bigwig, punk band. I love Bigwig, and they do a Slayer cover, and it's there's a reason why they did that, because it translates. You know, there's an easy transition there. They're influenced by them, and it works, and they did it quite well.
But Slayer covering punk.
You're not going
Bands
to
won't
hear Slayer
fucking-
covering fucking.
Well, you
They
did.
do.
You
Slayer
did,
did,
and,
Slayer did an album, and like they covered like you
but
know.
I imagine that was more Cro-Mags than fucking Lagwagon.
No, they did. Obviously not Lagwagon, but you know that's a stretch. But they did like I don't know, like bands like what do they do like TSOL and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's it's all relatable. you know?
Yeah.
You know.
The worst people are the ones that go, "I'll listen to this, so I can't listen to this."
Well, that's it. I don't
GNR
know.
did the
Like
same
I
thing
love.
with the Speedy Incident. They had the punk covers album, so to speak, which had
Wasn't there a
Since
Charlie
I Don't
Manson?
Have You, which
Wasn't there a Charles Manson cover?
yeah, so you can call it punk cover, but nah.
Yeah.
But it was a trend for a while that the band would do the whole punk cover thing. It was a big deal.
Yeah, I remember in the days of Kazaa and LimeWire.
Yeah.
Like everything. The first thing I found from Lagwagon, I think it was Lagwagon, was like a Creedence cover. So the top searches were always punk covers and
Creedence
stuff.
cover, yeah.
I think it was looking at my back door or something.
No, they did Bad Moon Rising.
That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
it's on the-
on Trash.
They did, yes.
Yeah.
But
Cletus.
those punk covers were always like the top searches.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
even if they were so shit and they were so basic.
But it's all relatable. Like that's the thing. Like those guys, they listen to everything.
Yeah,
They don't just. I assume anyway. So they just go, fuck. We're a melodic punk band. We could cover that and make it our own. Like, and who gives a fuck if it's not punk? Or,
Yeah.
You know, they just go, fuck it. It sounds good. It is good. You know.
That's right. Well, look, I think I speak on behalf of Jay and myself when I say that we're both quite fucking jealous of the life that you two have made for yourselves out of playing guitar and playing music for a living. What I guess what's next after this whole COVID thing boils over?
Who knows?
Who knows? So at the start of the year, you have a plan. Like we were supposed to go to Europe around this time. We were supposed to have that Spring Loaded Festival in May. That didn't happen. Europe didn't happen. We were supposed to go do an album in America in October. That's not going to happen. And now some more festivals in November, which is up in the air. So
it's
you
not bad for a kid from Dubbo, mate.
You just got to play it by ear. You know, shit happens.
Yeah.
Just run with it. You can't fucking get upset about it.
Do you guys see gigs going back to what we called normal?
I don't know.
It's a fucking
I have no idea.
thought.
I don't like. It's not really asking us. You know exactly. Well, you know as much as us. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's going to happen next week. No one does.
I mean,
He doesn't know what's going to happen tonight.
I wouldn't even, if it wasn't COVID, I still wouldn't know.
that's true.
What's going on?
I mean,
What happened, man? Cool.
when's the gig? 5 minutes. I'll be there in 10.
Yeah, I'll be there when I get there.
I mean, I saw you guys both play at the station not too long ago. Is it if it remains sit down gigs for the next 12 months? Is it going to be the same for you guys? Are you still going to want to get out there and do it as much?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I still love music. I still love, in the meantime, like with Hack the Mainframe, we're writing and currently recording new songs, and it's exciting and it's awesome. So we still get to do that side of it. So I'm super excited about the new Hack the Mainframe stuff we're doing.
This will be your first recording with them, right? I mean, you recorded the first stuff?
No. I recorded. Well, I recorded the first.
Yeah, but you didn't play on it.
But I didn't actually perform, and this is the first time I've done that. And we're doing new stuff, and it's fucking. I'm super excited.
Yeah, nice.
So that's coming soon. So we're concentrating on that. So I guess we're making the best of a bad situation, and concentrate on the recording side because we can still do that. But as far as gigs go, fuck, I don't know.
I mean, if nothing else, I find that not so much desperation, but boredom and anger tend to make for good songs. So
they do.
If nothing else, by the end of this, we should have a wealth of material.
And plus, I guess the interesting thing, or not, it's interesting, but it's also pretty shit. But
uninteresting.
Well, it's everything that's going on. Like we've got all this, there's this whole situation in this pandemic, and it's funny. We've got I find personally, people around me have been divided on their opinion on it as well.
It's not real, man. I don't know.
It's not real. It's a conspiracy, man. It's like COVID doesn't exist, and it's like, well, okay. And then there's other people that are like, don't come near me. Like, there's extremism on both sides, and that's what I'm finding is extremism, and that is the problem. It's not so much the problem itself; it's extremism.
Yeah, well, that's fucking always the case.
But that's always the case with everything.
No matter what you look into, it's the extremists that take it too far.
That's right.
Look, we won't keep you guys too longer. There's a child in a car waiting to go home. It's all right. Just a heads up, we've left her a bowl of water in the window. She's fine. The positive I found, I guess, from sitting at home for the last 6 months is listening to a shit ton of music.
That's good.
What have you guys been listening to?
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my Spotify.
Give us a look, Fef.
I've been jumping on YouTube and just going back to the 70s and the Carpenters.
Yeah.
Mamas and the Papas.
Do me a favour and go home and listen to some doo-wop.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
I've been listening to. I'll tell you, I've been listening to a lot this week. Sublime.
Oh yeah.
Underrated. Like
and are you going to learn how to say it properly?
Sublime. Sublime.
Sublime.
Sublime.
Sublime.
I just said it properly. Sorry.
Sublime.
Walt Whitman.
What else? Much else? A lot of 80s stuff.
Poison. Rat.
That's Round and Round. That's a great song. What else? I heard a new song by Get Dead. That was really good.
Great name.
They're a great band. I wasn't really into them before. That new song is awesome. Other than that, it's just...
so we've got Get Dead and the Carpenters. Two of the great
I think that's
bands.
it.
Well, Karen,
Apart from that, it's just the same shit.
drummer singer Karen Carpenter.
Yeah.
Corn, Mudvayne.
Fuck, two good bands there. Heavily, I can hear Corn and Mudvayne in Delta Lions.
You can hear that. You can totally hear the influence there. Limp Bizkit.
Fucking nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
Paddy Debs loves
no.
Limp Bizkit.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. He does. He does.
Dal, are you doing anything other than Frenzal at the moment? You jumped on the medley train. I saw a few times. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was just something to do.
Boredom.
Yeah, out of boredom. I think it's definitely a bad thing what's happening, but it's I think you can, there's inspiration that arises as well. Whether it be songwriting or pursuing an interest, like taking photos. I've been taking photos a lot, and just doing other things.
I mean, your photos are turning out. Is that new to you? Have you only recently bought a camera? Have you always had one?
Yeah,
7.
Because you've taken to it like a fucking... I can't think of an analogy.
Freight train.
You've taken to it like a fucking... Something to
Taking photos like a
like a
man
rabbit-
takes
a
a
rabbit to
fucking
a carrot.
carrot out of a ground.
Oh wow, that was weird.
It's not an analogy for starters, but anyway. Is that been keeping you sane during fucking...
and songwriting and stuff. And
Yeah.
Waiting for this opportunity to arise.
Yeah, I was looking.
I'm going to be
forward
fucking
this.
bummed after this. I'm going to go home and go, this
It was just like my heart.
Come back. Come back.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Come have drinks.
Well,
Don't bring kids this time.
Well, as I said, we are looking into doing some gigs at Nightrain Manor, and you guys will be a part of it when we can do that, and we look forward to seeing you
Hell
both
yeah.
on stage very, very soon. We are going to leave with a Frenzal song, and hopefully we don't get sued for it.
I don't
We
even know.
might.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to.
Well, we'll play it, and if we're not allowed to air it,
You're in
we'll-
shit, bro.
This was recorded by our sound engineer, Mr. Greg Jarge.
And you played on it, so
I played on
technically
it.
we're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So no bootleg.
No, it's not bootleg. It's official recording.
Okay. All right.
So it was sent to me, and
so depending on the legalities, we may or may not leave you with Frenzal Rhomb here, but Ferf and Dal, thanks for coming on Night Train Radio. We hope you've had
thanks for having
fun.
us.
This song goes out to
We had a
Shit
ball.
Tim.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
This song goes out to Shit
shit.
Tim, punch in the face. Thanks again, and thanks for listening.
Take care, guys.
Was it you that I was talking to about Russo?
About who?
Scott Russo? I think it was. I think you might have said most of the bands are cool.